Good morning. Hey everybody. Hey. Hey Milton. Hey Meg, good morning. Well, y'all are on it this morning. I literally just went live. Good morning, Ruth. You did not oversleep. You are here. Yay. Good morning. Hey Brandy McDermott, how are you? Trying to get my stuff set up. Everybody having a good morning, enjoying your coffee or tea, I hope. Good morning. Let's see. Hi, good morning. All right, let's see. I figured out last time that it helps to have myself watching Instagram from a distance so that I can see y'all's comments without trying to look at the camera. So I am getting this set up, making sure the volume is down. All right, and then hopefully I'll be able to see. Good morning, Whitney. All right, how's everybody doing today? Everybody good? Happy? Got your coffee? Or your tea? Or your water, juice, whatever you prefer. I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning. I am varying up my location this morning. I am north of Montgomery today. Normally I am smack dab in the middle of Montgomery. Today I am up at my parents' house, and it's a really great location for backyard botanical art. I actually was maybe a little overwhelmed with my choices of things to do this morning. My dad is where I get my love of plants and flowers from, and so there is everything growing here. But after some trial and error with some calla lilies last night, I decided that I'm gonna do something that is commonly called Ragin' Cajun. It's this super awesome, here let me show you, little very flourished happy little red plant. I'll show you better in a minute. If you have some in your yard, there you go, you know what we're doing. Hey Cheryl, good morning. I'm happy you're here. Hello everybody. Good morning. Hey Brandy Morrison. Morning from Lowe's with Rob. So are you shopping at Lowe's and watching this live stream? That makes me feel really special. While you're there, Brandy, can you please get some more 3M blue tape? We would highly appreciate it, always. Can't ever have enough. Gonna get started in just a second. Good morning, Mary Lil. Happy to see you. If you are tuning in for the first time, or if I've never called you out and said hello before, I would love to know who you are and where you're watching from. And my personal request is always to know what your favorite flower is. I don't always draw flowers during our botanical art live stream, but I do like flowers a lot, as we all know. And so when I can, I mostly do flowers, just because they're so pretty. But I'm gonna get going pretty fast this morning. I'm gonna drink some coffee for a second, slow myself down while I pick up the pace on the art. Gardenias, I love gardenias. Meg, I'll have to show you later my dad's gardenia bushes. They're amazing, so full of blooms. Good morning, Joe. I'm glad you're here. We're doing some watercolors this morning. Hope you're having a great morning. All right. Oh, someone said great mug. Thank you. My Cappy Thompson mug. Just like the stars falling on Alabama muses at the museum. All right. Oh, it's so nice here, y'all. I hope it's breezy in Montgomery too. Like I said, I'm north of Montgomery today. Still in Alabama, still close, just not in Montgomery. And so there's just a slight little bit more coolness here. It's still hot though, but a little cooler. Okay, so let's get going. Good morning, Gretchen. Anybody else, if you're just joining for the first time, my name is Laura. Hi. I work at the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts in the education department, and I love botanical art. I love being outside. I love plants and flowers and the way things grow, helping them grow, cutting them, putting them in vases. Speaking of arranging, is Aaron here? I haven't seen him yet. Aaron, wave at me if you're here. All right, but I'm gonna get going. Good morning, Gretchen. Good morning, Nancy. So happy y'all are here. All right, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit on my area here where I'll be drawing. Let me fix that. There we go. I'll zoom in a little more. All right. So, everybody good? Sound good? Picture good? We can see okay? Let me know in the comments, make sure everything is good. So you'll see that what I've done, oh, and I got carried away because I was so excited. I was gonna tape it off before I get going today, y'all. I'm just so ready to draw and paint. I have to do the technical stuff first. All right, so I've got my paper, my watercolor paper on just cardboard. Doesn't have to be anything professional, it's just a slice of board. And the big trick with taping down your paper is one, you want to use, let me get you on my lap here. You want to use a blue painter's tape. I prefer something that's, we refer to as 3M. It has 3M on it. We get it at Lowe's. It is like legit painter's tape, like for painting the inside wall or whatever. And the trick when you are taping down your watercolor paper is you want to really press firmly while you tape it across, because the whole point of this is to have the paper stay flat while you are painting, especially when you're using watercolors. The water obviously makes the paper wet, right? And it has a tendency to buckle or kind of warp while you're painting. So, pull some off. Obviously you want it to be as long as, well, slightly longer than the side you're working on. I'm going to lay it flat like this, and I'm going to press firmly. Now I'm going to be doing a double taping this morning. This is to get the paper flat. Press, make sure it's really good and tight in there. And then I'm going to be taping again to tape off the border. I'm going to be working in a very small 6x6 space this morning that I've already marked off with, I used a ruler, if you can see that. And the reason I'm working so small today is because I want to do both a focal point and a background. And those of you who have just met me or have seen me do this class before know that I can get a little carried away, and I didn't want to run out of time. So I'm trying to work in a smaller space today so that we can get our whole project done. So right now I'm taping down the edges of the paper, and again, I'm gonna get it started and then press it really firmly and just kind of smooth it out as you go to make sure that that paper is down really tight. I might not be getting it quite as tight as I would like it to be, but that's okay. This is just for fun, right? We're out here to have a good time, relax, enjoy plants, being outside, enjoy coffee. Everybody doing well? Hey Brad, good morning. Happy to see you. All right, last little bit of tape on this edge. Let me know if you're following along. I'd love to know. I know my darling Whitney is this morning. Joe, are you drawing and painting with us this morning? Gretchen, how you doing? For anybody who's just joined, I've also shared that what I am doing today is, here, I'll clip a little one off. Shh, y'all don't tell my dad. Commonly called a Ragin' Cajun, these cute little things. They are this gorgeous, lush, kind of vibrant orangey red. And the reason I picked these is because, picked these, is because they are growing so happily in this pot, and there's a lot of greenery and blooms. I'll show you those in a minute. And so we're going to be doing a full picture today, so a focal point and some background. Have some fun with the color. So Joe, you're just watching today. Okay. Well, I'm happy you're here, watching or creating. Maybe you'll create later and show me what you made. All right. So I'm doing a second taping just because I want to have a clean border when I pull the tape off. So I'm taping along where I did my pencil mark. And this way, if I paint over it, when I gently pull the tape back after it's dry, it'll have a really nice clean edge. So that is what I'm doing. What time is it? Let's see, 9:40. We're doing great. I hope everyone's having a good morning. All right. I haven't seen Alice yet. Is Alice here? Or Angie? I'm looking for my groupies, y'all. Where are you? Sounds like the neighbor has just started up their lawnmower. I hope that is not disturbing the peace in the background. Let me know if it is. There is nothing I can do about it, but let me know and I can apologize at the very least. All right. All right, so there is my edge of paper tape. And that's not quite as tight as I'd like it, but that's good. That'll work. All right, so double taped off. The one around the border was to get the paper flat to try to keep it from buckling too much while I am painting. And then the inner border is where I'm actually going to be working, and that's so that I can have a clean edge. So I can paint over that even if I want to. And when I pull that back at the end, it'll be real pretty and clean. I'll show you what I was working on last night. That was my attempt. My practice for today. I was going to be doing some purple calla lilies my dad has over here, and they gave me a little bit of trouble, and so I decided we would do something different today. But so this is what I'm talking about for that clean edge when we finish, and so we're going to have a complete picture. Yeah. Okay. But that's a teaser because we're not doing those. We're doing these little cute guys here. So I'm going to be working with thank you, Brandy. I'm glad you like them. I enjoyed doing them. It just gave me a little more trouble than I anticipated. I didn't want anybody to stress if they were trying to follow along at home. So, all right. Okay, just like white noise. And he's done now. It may come back later, but we'll see what happens. So when I'm working, I'm going to be using a very loose lead pencil. I'm working with a 2B today. And that's just so that you can see it at home, because it'll make a darker line. Ideally, when you are drawing, well, me personally, you like your line to be very light. One, so you can erase if you feel like you want to try something different. Or two, if you're going to be painting on it, you don't necessarily really want to see the pencil line, right? So if you were drawing along at home, I would suggest using a very hard lead pencil. So 2H is what I typically use, somewhere in the H range. That sounds silly, but that's what it means. It means it has a harder lead, and if it has a B on it, it's going to have a softer lead. And the higher the number, the softer the lead, the darker the pencil. Okay? All right. So I'm working with my pencil. Let me get y'all zoomed in now that we're taped up. And there we go. Bear with me through that transition, y'all. I apologize if you get any motion sickness. All right. Almost got it. This is the hard part every time, right? Come on, little guy, you can do it. There, we're just gonna call that good. Y'all see that okay? All right, how's that look? From drawing in here, I think we should be good. All right, so I can see these really well. they've got this really delicate little stem and very kind of elegant petals coming out here from the tube right here, or the trumpet. All right. So if you're following along with me, here's what we're gonna do. You know what? I'm gonna tape one up so you can see it, to be fair. Let me see what you can see. Give y'all a little something to work with. How does that look for y'all? So you have something to see. Okay. All right, so we are ready to draw. I think. All right, I'm gonna get this, where it would be attached to a stem is gonna be this long, lovely, very delicate little stem. So I'm just gonna do a loose line coming in this way, like it's growing off a plant back here. So we're just gonna pull it in. Remember, no pressure. It helps if y'all see that okay? Maybe I need to zoom in a little bit more. It helps to just relax and trust yourself. There we go. Trying to sketch it is normally going to make it look a little sloppier. You want it to just be free and easy. It's a really tiny little stem. Woo. See, when I'm trying to be too tight, I mess it up too. But that's the idea of where my stem is going to be. All right, so from there, this guy coming this way, it's a little trumpet here in the back, is just kind of coming up like this. And then he's got this one petal. It would help if you could see it, wouldn't it? There we go. Can y'all see it okay? It seems a little lighter than usual today. Maybe it's the light in here. Y'all let me know if you need to see better. I can try to draw darker. I prefer drawing really lightly, so I always have to adjust myself for this to help y'all out. That's better, that's a little darker. And so we always want to remember that we are just focusing on line, and I'm going to kind of take petal by petal, shape by shape. Don't overwhelm yourself trying to look at the whole flower at one time. So this one is looking this way. I'm not looking at the front face of it, okay? We're looking at the side of it. Y'all can't see that well, can you? Zoom out. Thanks, Brandy. That should be better. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. So this guy's gonna go kind of like this, and then come back this way. Maybe curving like that. Is that better? There we go. And then that part is coming back down here to the stem. We've got one more over here, but you can't really see it because it's going away from us. So the way I'm going to handle that is just draw what I can see, right? Can't see the whole thing. You draw what you can see, not what you know is there in your brain, but what you can actually see. And that might be a little bit too, that would be better there. So this is the center. And just like that, we already have a flower done. It's a quick little four petaled flower. Bring some of this stamen out here. Quick little lines and circles. Happy little fun guy. So off of there, we're gonna have another little line come back here for a little bud is what I'm gonna add. So just a little tiny stem. And then this one is going to have, it's not open yet. Let me see if I can find one for you so you can see. All right, so this is a little bud. It's not open yet. I'll tape him up too. Get it where you can see it. There we go. All right, so here he's facing like this, and I'm actually going to be doing in the opposite direction from what I'm looking at on the plant. But so the shape is really tight and just this long, kind of like a tube. And then it gets a little bit triangular up here at the top. I'll make that a little darker so y'all can see it a little bit better. And then what's holding him is just these little grass seedlings. Almost like a little crown holding it in place. All right, let's do a few more. The leaves down here, very kind of what you think of when you think of a leaf shape, very typical leaf. So we're just gonna do zoop, zoop, 2 lines, a little wider, and then come down to a point. And so the leaves are a little lower. None of the leaves are going to be up close to where the flowers are. They're down a little lower. So I'll do kind of like this, and come around this way, and then one maybe off in the other direction. Not really seeing all of it because it's going away from us. A little one coming towards us right here. A little overlap right there. That works for me. And then I wanted to add a few more flowers to give me a few different things to work on. So I'm going to put one right here. I'm just looking at something else on the plant. Maybe next class, y'all, I'll figure out how to make it to where you can see the whole thing while I'm also drawing it. How's everybody doing? Or what are you drawing at home? Maybe you're drawing a different plant than me. And we just want to kind of break it down line by line. Get our little shape in. Might have gotten a little bit wide there, but that's okay. And then you have a little stem coming down like this. Maybe a leaf coming up here. So this is where I've also talked with y'all about when I'm doing my botanical art. This is not a botanical illustration class. So botanical illustration is where you are being very precise. You're looking to get it very accurate because it would be used for like a reference. This is more enjoying the beauty of nature, okay? So we're looking at the overall aesthetic, kind of picking out what we like, still being accurate in our depiction, but just, you know, enjoying ourselves. Not that you can't enjoy yourself if you're doing botanical illustration. I sure would. But that's not what this class is about. I'm adding some more leaves down here where it's so lush and green, giving us a lot to paint. Some overlapping leaves. And you'll notice all I'm using is lines, okay? So we're not talking about trying to do a bunch of tiny details or looking for a little, you know, all the little individual lines within there right now. I'm just getting the shape on the paper, okay? And so since I want to have a little bit more of a background when we paint it, which we'll start painting in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to just kind of throw in the idea of where some leaves and maybe other flowers are without making them as well drawn, as complete looking. The idea being that these will end up being our focal point. It's what I will want you to notice more, and then the rest will kind of blend more into the background. So let's see, there's a little flower over here I can add coming off a stem, and he's actually going the other way. He's upside down. So I'm drawing this a lot faster, a lot lighter, because again, this is not going to be my focus. I want these guys and this guy to be my focus. And get the idea of where the center is there. And then there will just be lots of little leaves back here, because this is a very healthy, lushly growing plant. Little one there, little one there. Leaves back here, maybe another stem getting there, another stem going up to another flower up here maybe. You'll see how I'm using the maybe term a lot. I'm just kind of, don't put pressure on yourself to make it look specific, you know, like, yes, we want accuracy, but perfect is not a word that I like to use. We're not looking for perfection. I want you to enjoy yourself. So that's going to be a little tiny bud that's just starting to grow on his little stem. And there's some more leaves on that one. Really loose. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to take down my flowers so I can draw a little bit more over there before we get going with our paint. How's everybody doing? I hope we're having a fun morning and enjoying the outdoors today. I know I am. All right. So yeah, I've got all this here. I'd like one more over here, maybe kind of growing back in the distance. I'm gonna darken it up so you can see it. I would not be doing it this dark if I was just doing this for my own fun. That'll work. I'm gonna get a little guy right here. What will be something. Right here, what will be something. Just giving me something to add a little green to so we have a full picture in there. That's nice. All right, I think we're ready to paint. How do y'all feel? Y'all ready? We're gonna move. Zoom out. How's everybody feeling? How you doing? Hi. How's everybody doing? All right, I'm going to move this down here. And we are going to be painting watercolors. I'm using watercolors from Tube, but if you just have a palette that's got the, you know, semi-moist or dry kind of watercolors in it, that works just fine. I've got my watercolors in an egg carton. And we are going to be working down here. Let me get it where you can see what I'm doing. If you have any questions, let me know. See how that's looking in a second. I'll see if I need to zoom out or zoom in. See where we are. We're going to the ground. How does that look, y'all? I appreciate you bearing with me while I try to figure out the right view for y'all. Let's let it catch up. So now I need to come back this way, I think. All right, Meg says that looks good. We're gonna go from there. All right, so these flowers that I'm working with are mostly, or they're very red, kind of a red-orange, kind of a vibrant color. All right. When we're working with watercolors, obviously watercolor means that we need water to make them work, right? So I already put water in my paints a little bit to get them ready. You don't want to, when you're working with watercolors, you don't want it to be like this. You don't want to like glob the paint on there. That is kind of the opposite of what you would want. You want it to be very soft with water on it. And I'm going to be doing, initially for the flowers, I'm going to be doing a wet paint on dry paper. And so that means that I will be obviously taking wet paint and painting on dry paper, okay? So let's get going. The reason that I want to do this is because it helps me keep good control over my paint, so I can paint in right where I want it to be. And I'm using right now this color. It's called Fire Hydrant Red, and it's actually, believe it or not, just from Target. It is a liquid watercolor that I got, or a tube watercolor that I got from Target, and it works so well. Didn't spend a lot of money on it. Let me get that where you can see it a little better. Working it out. How is that? Maybe that'll be better. I'm struggling a little today, y'all. I apologize. Trying to do a new place, and that might be better. All right. All right, keep painting. Brandy said it looks good. Hopefully everybody feels that way. So I'm going to keep my paint loose too, just like my drawing, okay? So I'm not going to worry too much about making it perfectly in the lines. Which now, again, this is not botanical illustration, it's botanical art. It's just for the beauty and the fun. I'm keeping it really light right now, and I'm going to play with it some more in a second. Getting an idea of where my focal points are, where my color is. Can everybody see that okay? Yeah, I'm really struggling with my frame today. I move it. Ugh. I thought working from the ground would be better because I could see it better. Meaning, no, that's gotta be it. If I can get it to stay right there, that would be great. How is that? I think that should be it. I apologize, y'all. Thank you for staying with me. Let me get one more basic red on here. And this guy, hopefully you can see him. I think that's better. Took me a second, but we got it. Really loose. And you can also see I'm not using some super fancy paintbrush either. I'm using your typical came in a kid set Crayola paintbrush. All right, so I've got some basics on there. Maybe just like a quick little foundational layer of paint. And what I'm going to do now is start adding a little bit of depth to the flowers. Meaning I'm going to make it look like, you know, you're looking at the inside, or you're like it's going in to this trumpet here versus these petals that are on the outside closer to us, right? So to make it a little darker, what I'm going to do is play with some red and a little bit of green. I'm going to touch just a touch of green to my red to make it closer to a neutral. But so red and green are opposites on the color wheel. They're complementary colors. And when you mix complementary colors, they make brown, essentially. They're going to make muck. But that can be used to our benefit. Let's see. Make a darker red. And I'm not using so much green that it's actually making brown. I'm just using it to make my red look a little bit darker, almost more of like a maroon. So I'm just kind of getting that wherever my centers might be. Back in there, indicating depth, right? The idea of depth. Implied depth, if you will. That'll work. I'm going to rinse my brush a little bit and actually like cleaning it off, and I'm going to use it to just kind of pull out and blend that color a little bit, because I don't want it to, it's not such a stark contrast. It definitely kind of gradates a little bit more. That's nice. Let's add some green to this. Make it come alive a little bit more, right? So same thing, I'm getting my green paints and kind of playing with the color a little bit. The green of this leaf is very kind of what I would call maybe an olive green. Let's see, and I'm just gonna, I think for the leaves, let's have fun, y'all. I'm gonna do wet on wet. So I'm gonna get my paintbrush wet and, oops, I've already got color on here. What I was going to do was wet the paper and then add some color, but that's fun. I don't hate how wild this is becoming. I'm enjoying it. I hope you are too. Let's try it with another one. Let me get a different brush. A good clean brush. All right. So now, and that's gonna bleed a little bit, but that's okay. Putting water down, just clean water, and I'm gonna come back with my color and let it just kind of bleed in. That's nice. So here I'm sort of doing the opposite of painting the whole leaf. I added the water, and then I'm using the lines to kind of create those veins of the leaf. All right, and I'm gonna get some color on these stems, help these flowers have a little life. You'll notice, let me show you under, when I'm doing to make my brush really pointed, is I am taking my brush and the color. Y'all don't judge my palette. I am a messy mixer. I am not one of those who rinses my brush before I mix. Don't do this. This is what you should not do. So what I'm doing when I want to get my green stems on is I'm getting my brush in the color, and then I'm kind of twisting it to get a really good point. And then I'm going to keep it really just barely touching the paper, really light, like a point. Whoop, even that's too heavy. There we go. To get that color in. That's better, that's better. Just have to find the balance. That's nice. Thank you for laughing, Whitney. Whitney, although I have a feeling that your paint palette might look a little bit like mine. see. Y'all, Whitney and I used to be roommates, and let's just say neither of us are the world's neatest people, but that was one of the things that we got along so well with. And I don't mean dirty. We know how to clean. We just like to pile things as opposed to, like, you know, traditional organizing. And I think that my paint palette is an awesome representation of that. Let me get some. The other thing too, y'all, is vary it up a little bit. Don't do every leaf the same way. Don't do every flower the same way. That's going to add interest to your picture, and it's going to make your composition more interesting, you know? You don't want everything to look exactly the same, or then nothing will stand out. Also, I just like to have fun. That one wasn't working as well. We'll just blend that all in. That'll work. Let me get some darker greens on here to add a little depth variation. Let's see. So to get a darker green, I'm going to pull in a little bit of a dark blue to it. I'm actually using a Prussian blue to make it just a little bit darker. And I'm going to use this darker blue just kind of where there might be some shadows. So again, down when leaves are overlapping, the part of the leaf that is underneath something is going to have a little bit of a darker, or the part of the stem might be a little bit darker. This guy over here. Watercolors do dry pretty quickly, so you kind of have to work fast. Which is another thing that's fun about them, though, because you don't really have time to overthink it, right? And then I'm coming back with a lighter green and just kind of pulling that out. Oop, and a little bit of paintbrush. How's everybody doing? We doing well? Hope you're having fun. Thank you for being here. It. Okay, we've got about 15 minutes left, which is working. I'm thinking that I would like my flowers to be a little bit bolder, so I'm gonna go back to those in a second and see what I can do with the color. But that's a part of art, right? You have to step back and look, see what you're doing, and kind of assess, figure out what you might want to change. I'm making these smaller leaves a little bit more of a fresh green because they're baby leaves, so they've got that newness to them. That's nice. How's everybody doing? If you're following along, I hope you're doing well. If you're not following along, I hope you're enjoying. I'm gonna bring in some green in the background just to give it the idea of there being leaves everywhere. So even if I haven't drawn in that space, I'm going to pull in some green. And what I'm gonna do to do that is to do the wet on wet, but I'm not gonna get crazy with it. It's not going to be, I don't want it to overpower these flowers and the leaves that are meant to stand out, because they're my focal point, right? And so I'm kind of just pulling in just a little bit of water in here. Play with some green, a nice soft green. Nothing too loud that'll take away from it. Paint it in easy. Let the water do what it does. Gretchen says that she's following along, but with color pencil, because she enjoyed them so much last lesson. Gretchen, I'm glad you enjoyed them. I love color pencils too, especially the Prismacolors and the way they just kind of ease on the paper. I love it so much. I would probably honestly mostly do color pencil, but gotta keep it interesting for everybody. I'd like to do some acrylic paint sometime if y'all would be interested in that. Acrylic is my medium of preference, so if you would be interested in seeing some botanical painting with some acrylic, let me know and we can work on that. My next botanical art will be on June 6th, so that's in 2 weeks. And I will hopefully be broadcasting from the museum sculpture garden. I will update you about that, or you can follow along as you do on Facebook or Instagram. But depending on what we have blooming out there, maybe I can take some acrylics and do a little fun stuff there. Really soft green in the background. All right, let's see. Let me play with these reds a little bit more over here. Is that John? Did John just join? I think he did. Hello, if it's you, John. Mr. Patton, good to see you. All right, so I've mixed a little cadmium orange into my fire hydrant red, which, yes, y'all can laugh, that fire hydrant red is what they call it. It's a Target brand paint, but it's really bold red. But I'm just kind of trying to make like this good red orange that these are, to give them a little bit more personality, because they need it. So I'm not going to cover up entirely what I did, okay? I'm just using this bolder color to kind of come in and just add some idea of where some more color might be. Again, the idea here is to keep it loose, have fun, relax. Milton says that he enjoys acrylics but really likes watercolors. I would love to see some watercolor work of yours. I bet it's gorgeous. All right. So again, I'm just kind of layering this now kind of an orangey red on top of this softer red that we did earlier, just to help it have a little bit more of the bold personality that these... Does anybody know the scientific name? I should have looked it up. I meant to before this. My dad calls them Raging Cajuns. They're these lovely little delicate flowers that kind of just take over. They're probably invasive, but what that also means is that you can't really kill them off, so they grow really well. So if you feel like you don't garden well, these might be the plant for you. Let's see. Add a little more in here to give her some more personality. And then the stamen is actually more of a white, and I want it to stand out, so let me get more of the green in the background. Probably need to be hurrying up anyway. We've got about 10 minutes left. All right, okay, so I'm just doing some more clean water on here. Whoop, a little bit of a bleed, no big deal. And a really soft green that I'm going to pull in for the background. Maybe not so soft. We can spread that out, help it be softer. Too much of you. So now I'm using a clean wet brush to just kind of spread that out. I don't want to add too much water because I don't want it to buckle or get all warped. And I do like the variation that we've got going in the background, so where it's a little bit more of an olive green here on this leaf and a softer green here. This one, I don't know what you would call, what do you call that color? Not my favorite green. It's got more of a yellow to it, but not in a good way. Let's mix it up. Oh, that's nice. I'm being super loose right now. I don't want to paint over my flowers, but I want to get the green everywhere in the background. Let's not make that same mistake. Make sure that's really soft. That's better. Oop. Little red bleed, but that's okay. All right, get some red up here on this guy. Add some water there. So as we're wrapping up, y'all, I hope you've enjoyed. I'm still painting. We're not done, but we're getting there. Next Saturday, we've got another local artist live. If you haven't been watching that yet, you really need to tune in. They're so much fun. Last week we had Kevin King, and he was amazing as always. This coming weekend, so May 30th, a week from today, we've got Torrey Jackson, and she will be kind of giving us a little inside look at her studio space and showing some of her art, doing a Q&A with us. So please tune in. That'll be next Saturday at 10 o'clock. Those are just a quick 30 minutes of your morning you can enjoy while you're drinking coffee. And if you don't know who these artists are when I'm mentioning them, look them up. Look them up on Facebook. Look them up online. Kevin King has been a local artist for our program. Torrey Jackson. We've had Madison Fail and Tara Sartorius. And we will have many more to come. That is a brand new program that we started because of our quarantine time and just kind of trying to keep Montgomery creative and show you how creative Montgomery also already is. Let's spread that love. I want to darken up that leaf a little bit. Got about 7 minutes. How's everybody doing? I'm enjoying this. I want to spend some more time with these. Maybe I'll get out a pencil later and do some more work. I think I'd like to try them in acrylic. I want to darken it, but I don't want to take away from the rest of it. Just trying to add some little tiny fun details in here. Hope everybody's had a good time. I've enjoyed being here with you again this morning for our 4th backyard botanical. And like I said, hopefully in a couple weeks I will be broadcasting from the Cadell Sculpture Garden at the museum. That is my goal anyway, but have to make sure we're following guidelines and staying safe. Meg has asked what kind of art Torrey does. She does some really beautiful portraiture, Native American portraiture. She's very talented, Meg. You'll be ridiculously impressed. Really gorgeous stuff. And we'll see what she does. I don't really know what she's going to be showing us. That's kind of a surprise for all of us, so I'm excited. Please tune in so you can see. It will be wonderful. My paper is buckling a little bit. I don't think that I taped very well, but that's okay. I can make it work and have some fun. Get a little more color in there. Take some of that away. Haven't really touched much in here. Let's see, 5 minutes. Just want to get a soft little bit of green in there. Let those colors play. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna do something that you normally wouldn't do. I'm going to go ahead and take the tape off so that you can see that part of the process. Joe, I'm gonna say this for you. I will very likely go back with a pen and sharpen up these where the stamen are and the little details that I didn't really paint. But I will wait till it's dry before I do that. So I just want to show you the process of pulling the tape back, y'all. When you do this, you want to kind of pull away from the picture and do it slowly, and that will keep it from tearing. If it cuts off while I'm doing this, thank you all so much for being here. I've had a really good time this morning. I hope you have too. And like I said, please tune in next weekend, May 30th, for Local Artists Live at 10, right here at the same Instagram account, Montgomery MFA, for Torrey Jackson. Yes, the tape away is my favorite part too. So there we go. There's my little 6x6 this morning. Hope y'all had fun. I did. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Enjoy this weather. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Milton. Thank you for being here. Excited to see you. I hope y'all have a great day. And tune in next weekend for Torrey. And then tune in for me in 2 weeks again. All right? Thanks, y'all. Everybody have a great weekend. Thank you, Joe. Oh, there's still 1 minute and 30 remaining? Y'all, I can like look at you and say hello to you. This is what happens when my face is away. I can't read. There. Now I can see. I'll probably stop in a second, but here's an actual goodbye from my face. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. All right. Love you, Whitney. Bye.